Hey everyone, it's me, Joe, and today, as usual, I am joined by my good friend...
Me, Other Joe.
We're here to do our review, almost said live review of Tower of God, Season 1, Episode 6 of the anime. So usually we talk about the episode beforehand, we sort of share our thoughts with each other before jumping in, but today, we're going in blind, so I have no idea what Joe thinks of this episode, so it's a little interesting.
Yes, we shall see what I think of the show.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone knows your thoughts on the show already, do they?
I said a little bit in my reaction, but just a little bit. I wanted to save it, the in-detail stuff for our review. So as usual, these reviews are spoiler-free, so if you're an anime only, you're totally fine. Around a third of the way through the video, we're gonna talk about spoilers. And usually we don't talk too much about it, but I think this episode I actually have a lot to say about spoilers. So stay on the lookout for that. As soon as we say spoiler territory, you know to click away if you're an anime only.
It will be a most exhilarating review.
Exhilarating, exactly. So let's start with the episode itself. Joe, how about you start? What did you think about the non-spoiler, the episode itself? Just general reactions.
I feel like not a whole lot really happened. I feel like we just kind of got it's kind of the cooldown period after the crown game. Everyone just kind of gets put in their little roles, in their little classes, and we establish some characters that we get a better understanding of certain characters that we briefly touched upon in the crown game.
It's kind of like it's an in-between sort of it's not filler for sure, like it's important to the story, but it sort of acts as an in-between episode between these two big arcs. Like without spoiling too much, there's much more coming ahead, and it sort of acts as like a calming period before the calm before the storm, essentially.
It's a way to give us information. Like we learned a lot of things about certain characters. Like we learned a lot about administrators. We learned a lot about the teachers. We learned a lot about Anak Jihad and Endorsi.
A lot of info dump this episode, but not in a way that's like overloading. I would say it was very fascinating.
It wasn't like
stuff.
I wouldn't say it's just people standing around conveying information.
Right, it's still done in an interesting way. But yeah, so I feel like one of the highlights of this episode was the introduction of, like you said, the teachers, but more specifically the positions, which is a very core aspect of Tower of God, being one of these 5 positions and being a part of this team and how you utilize your skills in your position and that sort of thing. Now, I love this about Tower of God. I love that everybody sort of fits into this role, and some people maybe don't fit into the role quite as well as others, etc., etc. But I feel like if I'm going to already start critiquing the episode, I feel like when it came to the positions themselves, the anime introduced them, but they didn't really elaborate on them as much as I wish they had. So for example, they didn't tell you who was in what position, they just sort of implied it. So you're like, oh, okay, I guess they're in this class and they're in this class, and they didn't really go into much detail with it. I feel like first-time viewers of the anime, I actually had some confirmation on this, first-time viewers were a little bit confused by the whole thing because they sort of introduced it to you and then just jumped right into the classes without telling you what each class was necessarily about and who is in what class, except for like the wave controller class. I don't know, what do you think about that?
I don't disagree. Basically, we know who's in certain classes based on like the, but just by seeing who's in the class. We got a good understanding of who was in Bomb's class, the wave controller class, but like who was really in Rack's class besides Rack and Mr. Red Mask Teeth guy.
That's true.
As well as Kuhn's team, like we barely know who's in Kuhn's class. We don't even really know that Lei Roro is, besides his like little narration thing where he's talking in the background of Kuhn's narration.
Yeah. Right.
We don't even really quite know that he's the teaching that class.
Right, and then for the scouts, like, in the original it doesn't necessarily show the scout class, but we don't even know who else are in the class. Like, at least in the original it told you who else was there, but in this it was just, you just assumed, oh, Shibisu and Hats, and then a bunch of other people.
Yeah, the only lesson you got is just that he shows up at the door and it's like, yeah, our class, we gotta make friends.
But like, you're right, that they don't show it in the original. They don't show the scout class that much at all, actually, or the wave controller, or the light bearer class all that much either. But it's just the way they handled it didn't even tell you much at all. Like, it was okay. I'm not saying it was all bad, but I wish they had spent more time sort of exploring that more and hyping it up more. Instead, they just told you
I agree.
and then moved on to the classes.
I think, yeah, like they didn't really tell us exactly what a light bearer really does besides they control a battlefield.
Yeah, which, it's okay. Like, I have faith that as the show goes on, they'll sort of continue to explore each position, but I just hope that everybody who is watching it for the first time can, like, remember the positions and who is in what position, because the anime makes it more vague.
I think most of my problems are really just, like, it's not quite as established, but it could establish in future episodes.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Yeah, it's a good way to put it. But it was still a cool moment. I liked they showed like the artwork for each position and stuff. That was pretty neat. So it wasn't all bad or anything, but we're just critiquing it here. Which kind of ties into my main critique of the episode was just that it had a lot of great stuff, but it felt so fast paced to me. Was that just me, or how did you feel about that? Did you feel like it was sort of rushing, like going from one thing to the other a little bit too much?
Well, there's a lot, I guess, to really catch up on, just because, like, Bomb has been in a coma the last 5 days, I believe. There's just a lot of information to convey in that time, because Leiro needs to talk about the positions, and then what's going on, and then, oh, your teacher is actually showing up 2 days late, we've all been doing our classes, and then...
Yeah.
And then the Michelle Light thing.
Right, they did have a lot to cover, so I don't really blame the anime for it. I feel like they did what they had to do. But I just wish that we could have had, like, a little bit more time. It just felt like, so like Kun and Rachel's conversation, for example, it was like 15 seconds. Like, especially with that cliffhanger, like, oh, Rachel and Kun are gonna be talking. It was just so fast, and I wish we had more of that dynamic a little bit. And then they cut, like, Laro, Ho, and Bomb's conversation. They kind of changed that. And, like, again, I get why they're making these changes. I don't know. I felt like we were jumping ahead a little bit too much or a little bit too fast. But, not bad, though. Not bad. I just thought I'd mention it. But talking about, I don't want to spend the whole review just critiquing it. So I loved the Anak and Endorsi scene and their fight, their dialogue, the mini backstory we saw of Anak. I thought that was all very well done. You want to talk about that?
Well, I liked how it all looked. Well, it looked a lot like, I said this a lot in the last episode, but it looked a lot like how it was, how I was cutting frames out for the dub. Like, it looks basically like the webtoon in these moments. It was very, very cool to see it in motion, and seeing Endorsi, like, basically, like, dance to force Anak to eliminate the other fishermen so she can be in the last 8. It was very fun to see.
It was.
And as far as, if I remember, that fight's not quite over, so...
Right, yep. Well, yep, Anak has gotten up. She's shown her anger. Anak has revealed her true purpose for climbing the tower, and that is revenge for her family. So we found out that there's a whole dynamic between her and her mother. I won't go into it too much. It implies a lot, but I won't say too much. But I thought it was handled really well. That's an example where, like, in the original, they show a lot more of Anak's past, but, like, we didn't really need to see more. Like, they showed exactly what we needed.
Well, I think they will... actually, no. They probably won't show more.
I mean, maybe they will.
It was actually, now that I think of it, it was very fast.
I
feel like half the episode when they were talking about Anak's mother in the webtoon, it like took up half the episode, basically.
Yeah,
That's
it
what
basically
it felt like
did. It basically did. But at the same time, I do like that they're kind of keeping it mysterious, by showing us a little. And it's possible if they show us more. I can forgive that a little bit more than the other things. But this episode also had Kun and Hatz's little spat and that whole thing. Again, it was cut short. It was only like maybe half a minute long or something, but it was still cool to see that scene brought to life. We had Shibisu and Anak with the Black March. Like, all these little scenes from the original were still kept in, so I appreciate that. And I gotta say, like, the background detail of this episode was fantastic. Like, the ring where the fishermen were fighting, I thought that looked really good. The colors were great. They added a lot of detail.
Like I was saying before, it looks basically just like the webtoon in motion. That whole thing is very cool.
Yeah, this episode was definitely a solid one. There were definitely some changes, though, and I'm gonna wait until spoilers. There's two main things that I want to talk about in spoiler territory. But before I move on, like, is there anything else we want to talk about the episode itself? I feel like we're probably missing a couple things, but...
There is probably a few things, but some of the things I want to talk about are... The things I have on my mind are the spoilery stuff,
Right. See, this is a review where it's like, a lot of what we have to talk about is spoiler territory, but I feel like we've mostly talked about what we need to talk about. I mean, a moment that I thought was hilarious was Rack leaving to go back into the wild, and it shows his cape like flapping in the wind, and he's all serious.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty funny. I appreciated that. That was a detail that they added from the original. They changed that slightly, so that was fun. But anyway, that is our main review then. I don't think we have anything else to talk about. Bit shorter for us today. So let's jump into spoiler territory.
I mean, this is where I think the length will come in.
That is true. This is still going to be a long video, probably.
If you ask me.
Right. Yeah.
So let's
jump into it.
Spoilers.
Okay.
Let's start with Rack, actually, because.
Oh, okay.
I like in the webtoon. Everyone, spoiler warning, of course. That's already been said, but I want to say it too, just to make it clear that we are now in outside of anime-only territory. There was a part in the webtoon that I really like, where Rack was just like, leave this target to me, and he just throws the spear and he completely misses.
Oh yeah, true. Oh my gosh, and Paracule makes fun of him, and Merch. Yeah, they start laughing.
He's totally gonna get it on the first try, and then he totally doesn't. And then Ghost does it. That's the red guy's name, Ghost, and he completely obliterates it. And then Rag is like, oh,
right.
And then he does that he keeps throwing spheres for a while.
That's so true, and like I feel like that. Not that the anime did a bad job, but that makes Ghost that much more terrifying, because
in a way
we're used to Rack, not terrifying, but it shows his power, because we're used to Rack being like the guy, he is the man, you could count on Rack, and when he fails,
right now, Rack is probably one of the stronger characters right now.
Oh yeah, I'd say like top 5 probably.
Top 5?
I would say so.
Anok
and Dorsey-kun,
Laro.
Hots. Okay, those 5. And then probably Rack, right? I can't think of anyone else. I'll wait. Name someone else. I think he's top 6. I think he's top 6.
I mean, I didn't even say Ghost.
Well, that's actually true. Okay, whatever. He is in the
there's Hwaryun too.
He could take Hwaryun. Like, I know she kind
right
of
now?
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna say that because she kind of outmaneuvered him. She outmaneuvered him, but like she didn't hurt him. I think she could take. I think he could take her.
Right now.
I think right now he could. Oh man, I'm gonna get hate for saying that.
It's debatable.
It is debatable.
I don't think so.
I can see it going either way. My point though is the fact that Rack misses and then Ghost hits it, like you said. I hadn't thought about it that way, but that does add more of an impact. Maybe, I don't know. It's a bit more interesting.
So. I think it would be more impactful to see Rack fail and then finally succeed.
Yeah, definitely. And the interesting thing too. Yeah, go ahead.
Like he missed the target, and then in the same episode he finally hits the target.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Just have that be like this, just have the target be his goal. And then don't have him hit the target this episode, but then next episode have the start of the episode be like he's still trying to hit the target, and then he just gets really mad and he hits the target.
That would make it so hype, and because I don't mind how they did it, but that would have been interesting.
But that is, that's what I say.
No, that makes total sense. I agree. I hadn't actually thought about it that way, but I think that since we're in spoiler territory. Well, first of all, let me say, because this is technically a spoiler, did you see Paracule in that scene where he talks about the positions?
No.
You didn't? Okay, I
did
noticed
not.
him just for a split second, but he is sitting there, and I don't know why I got so hyped. I got excited because it's like, hey, he's here. He didn't say anything, but just seeing him in the background was pretty interesting. But regardless, like that's technically a spoiler, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I did not notice this mystery character.
Well,
this
go back and rewatch it, dude.
This mystery revolutionary character who you are mentioning in the spoiler.
Nice one. That was good. That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the main two things I want to talk about, maybe you have other spoiler things you want to talk about. I want to talk about Ho, and I want to talk about Rachel. I want to start with Ho.
Okay.
So I was thinking about this, and in the anime, we've seen Ho, like he's talked to Laura and Serena. We've seen him on their team, but he's obviously just been like a background character. So then he's in Bomb's class, and in the anime, he introduces himself to Bomb. It's all friendly, and then like 20 seconds later, Ho walks back to his room, and you see him like shaking, and he's like sweating, and there's ominous music playing. So anime-only watchers, they see that, right? And they're like, oh, this guy can't be trusted. There's something weird going on with this guy. So he's in the room and he's sweating. And to me, that was very like dark. It was like, what is going on with him? Like, it's not that he's evil, you think he's evil, but you're just like, something's going on with this guy. In the original, he introduces himself to Bomb. He's very friendly. And it's like, whoa, Bomb can use Shinsu too. And it's like, oh my gosh. And like for a couple episodes, you just see them hanging out and talking and eating lunch together. But then he slowly starts getting jealous of Bomb, and then he starts becoming ominous. And then you as a reader are like, oh no, what's happening to Ho? You like started to become more attached. I don't know. This time I felt the dark vibes a little too soon, I think.
Oh yeah?
That's all I was gonna say. I don't know.
I don't know if I really got the dark vibes quite yet. I don't like the whole thing with the with him like in his room like sweating. That's just because he was I guess making a contract with the administrator takes a lot out of you, because everyone was basically doing that besides Laura.
Oh,
that's why Bomb was like super tired.
Right. Interesting.
And Ho was hiding it.
Oh, you're
like,
so right, dude.
Yeah. He was, because he's like, yeah, it's our job to help the weak, haha. And then he's like, oh.
True. That is so true. I hadn't thought of that. But they do play this like dark music, don't they? I don't know. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. I don't know. You're right. You're definitely right. You're right. I hadn't looked at it that way for some reason. It's because I'm from the outside. I know what happens. So when I see that, I'm immediately like, oh no. But
it's okay, man. This is why I'm here.
You're here to make sure I'm on the right track. Thank you, Joe.
That's right. I'm here to set you on the correct path.
The path of righteousness.
You will climb the tower eventually. You just need guidance.
I see. You're my. Are you like my ranker trainer, like the administrator?
No, because eventually you're gonna one-shot rankers, and that's not gonna be fun for me.
Are you calling me Bomb?
No.
Am I like the main character of this story? Yo.
This is your YouTube channel, my friend.
Oh, okay. I guess that's kind of true. Does that make you? You're the coon. You're the coon to my Bomb, Joe. You're the coon to my Bomb.
I'm the Sephiroth to your Bomb.
Does that make sense? Okay.
No. I am the Cloud to your Bomb. Perfect.
The Cloud to my Bomb?
No, I don't want to be Cloud, actually.
Sephiroth fits you better because you're so evil and.
No, what? No,
stuff.
I'm not evil.
Yeah. Yeah, tell yourself that. Keep telling yourself that. Okay.
You guys can trust me.
Moving on. So the other thing I want to talk about, kind of along the same lines as how actually, is Rachel. So, this is a pretty obvious one. I think people knew I was going to talk about this in spoilers.
There was, I actually had a really cool thing about Rachel that I didn't quite realize when I was reading the first time.
Okay.
But, Rachel is just shutting herself in her room the whole time. She's not, making any, she's not, making any friends. She's not... And the reason for that is just because she doesn't want to be caught by Bomb, right?
I guess so. She wants to... She doesn't want Bomb to become involved with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In a way, she's shutting herself in her room because Bomb is would she have... If Bomb wasn't there, would she be out being more, trying to make friends?
Oh, that's an interesting
question I had
point.
in my
I'm
mind,
actually
you know?
not sure. Well, the thing is, even when she's on Endorsi's team, she wasn't really all that friendly. She was still kind of quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she's just that's just how she is. I don't know. There's something going on with her.
But
There's something going on.
I got a really interesting vibe from Rachel in this that I didn't quite get when I was reading, and I thought it was really cool.
That is neat. I hadn't really noticed that. I don't know if you got this vibe, and I might just be being paranoid a little bit here. I got the same sort of feeling like at the end of episode 4 when they were like, is it okay to kill them all? And Rachel's like, yes. And it's like, what the frick? I got that same sort of feeling this episode because she's like, Kun, don't tell Bam about me. And then Kun's like, I don't want to let Bam anywhere near her. And then it shows her in her room, and then it really does play ominous music. And it's like, and she shows her not hiding her eyes, and Kun's like, I don't want to let Bam near her. And it's like,
I think they're doing a good job because she's just very sad, I think, right now.
Yeah.
In a sense.
I don't know.
I mean,
in the original, Kun trusts her more.
Put the spoiler up
man.
Because I think they're doing a pretty good job right now with the whole Rachel setup. Like for her eventual betrayal. Because right now everyone thinks she's just sad and she's eating candy bars and stuff.
Yeah.
Which she stole from
yeah,
Rack,
why'd she steal from Rack?
Well, I don't know. That's a little subtle thing about her true nature, her selfishness.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think so far, I don't think people are gonna pick up on that. They're just gonna be like, oh, she just it's innocent. Like Kun has a million infinite candy bars.
Yeah.
I think it is very interesting, like how she's being handled right now, because she's just alone in her room, shut away from everyone.
Right.
People may think she's just a sad girl, but she is probably just very jealous of Bum and like him making friends, and that is even shown in her little vision.
Yes.
But I think the vision has mixed messages though, because people will think like, oh, she just wants to be with Bum right now, you know?
Exactly. But in reality, she's like
extremely jealous.
Yeah. Because she does. Oh man, it's her true nature, right? Like she's just so selfish that like she hates seeing other people.
She's just very bitter.
Yeah, she hates seeing him
happy.
happy.
About like seeing him happy, because before it was just her that made him happy. And
exactly. Oh man, you can look at that two different ways, as her being really sweet or her being
Rachel
evil.
Is so complex because she wants the attention to be on her, but she also doesn't want to be with Bam right now.
Exactly. It's almost like she likes that he chases after her, but like she doesn't want him to be with her.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so crazy. What a crazy
dynamic. She has her own goals and motivations and
oh, that's fascinating.
It's nuts. It is. I think it's really cool, and that is a sense I got from this episode.
That's cool. Wow, good insight. I feel like that was some really good insight. Other than that, I'm actually done. Those are the main two things I wanted to talk about. Now that you explained the Ho thing to me, that I can definitely let that pass now. I was kind of hung up on that, and then the Rachel thing too. I agree. I do like how they handled her, although I was a little worried that we were getting too many bad vibes, but maybe it's better than I thought. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought.
I think like you have to do it this way, because it's two sides of this. It needs to be interpreted in different ways. So like when the twist happens, people will want to go back and watch the episodes and see the
the hints.
Yeah. And they'll be like, oh my god, that's right.
That is true.
Which SIU does an absolutely amazing job doing it, and the anime is gonna have some. It's gonna be tough for them to truly capture it, but I think so far so good.
So far so good. I have faith. They know how important this build-up is, and that moment's gonna be. So I have faith in that. I feel like the only thing. This is my last thing. The only thing was that in the original, Kun trusted her a bit more, and like he's so untrusting of her now. That
I think that's okay, because Kun is naturally very untrusting of everyone right now, at least.
That is very true. Yeah, good point. Anyway,
I don't think it's the worst, but I do see your concern though, because like even Kun gets like deceived by Rachel when the thing happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Like not even Kun could stop this.
Not even Kun. Exactly. I hope they still keep that element in, but we'll see. Regardless, I would give this episode an 8 out of 10.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
I feel like it was still a really good episode, but not one of my favorites. I don't know. What did you think?
Well, if I had to rate this between one being the worst, and 4,983, 4,983 being getting a horse for my birthday,
Yes.
I would have to give this episode a 4,011.
Oh, okay. I think that's pretty good. Someone actually did the math last time you did this, and you gave it a really good review.
Message. What's their name? We'll give them a shout out.
I don't know. I'll put it on the screen here.
That is so rude. How could you do that? I commend you, my friend. And
Well
if you do
done.
the math again,
Yeah.
well, you are a madman.
Then you're a
Or
mad
mad woman. You're
That's
a mad
true.
person.
Mad person. You're a mad person, whoever you are. But thanks a lot for watching, guys.
And
If you enjoyed,
appreciate
we appreciate you. If you like the video, guys, then please leave like and subscribe for more Tower of God content. We were actually just talking. We might be doing more of these sort of discussions, perhaps live in the future. So if you have any sort of suggestions on what you want us to discuss, leave them in the comments, and we'll definitely work on potential video and stream ideas. With that being said, go follow Joe on Twitter at Chromex20, and go subscribe to him and follow him on Twitch at Chosen Hero Arrives. Links are in the description down below. You actually didn't contradict me there. Whoa.
Those are not my links. Go follow me at Dr. Bonehead
I was
on
waiting for
Twitter.com.
it.
Follow me at Dr. Bonehead on YouTube, and we'll subscribe and go to my live streams. We're gonna do a discussion on Tower of God. I also play RuneScape Legends. What is that game you're playing? Sorry.
Legends of Runeterra. I just finished doing
Legends
that
of
stream.
I'm
You
really
still
good at
said
the
it
game.
wrong.
We're gonna get top 500. You just wait and see. While talking about Tower of God, because that game is easy for me, because I'm the brilliant Dr. Bonehead. I make YouTube videos.
You
Follow
flatter
me.
me. You done?
No, but yeah, we can end it now.
We can end? Alright, thanks a lot, guys. Take care.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
That was pretty good, I feel like. Oh, I wasn't recording the whole time, sorry.